Hi guys, Victoria here for Beyond Paper by Victoria. Welcome to my channel today. Today obviously is birthday week at Tonic Studios, and we have this fantastic Advent Cracker die set. So it will come with your instructions inside, and you will also get these foil fusion sheets which will give you all your advent numbers. It will give you a beautiful wooden design to use with your foil, and then it will give you some little round numbers here and some sentiments. So there's a real assortment in this pack. So I think you get 2 of these packs with the die set, and I think you will also get a magnetic sheet because it is birthday week. So I've gone ahead and put mine on a sheet, and I'm just going to walk through what the dies all do, and then we'll put one together. So this is the base of your cracker, so you're going to need to cut 2 of these out, and it cuts everything out for you there with this aperture already cut. Now you'll see here we have different decorative pieces that will go on the end of your cracker. These pieces here are your little stopper that will go through the cracker. So you'll have a little stopper there, and I might as well show you this one here. We've gone ahead and we've already made a cracker, but we've not done it in Christmas themes. We've done it for an all occasion theme. So this could be for a wedding, could be a table setting. Don't just think that crackers are just for Christmas. They are an all-round occasional box. So why wouldn't you have a nice pretty box, you know? So that's the stopper in there. You can see this die here. This is the little hinge. So it's a nice little decorative hinge there. This die here that's got a lovely little beveled deboss is this die here. And this die here will actually cut into the card, so it will look like your traditional cracker does. I've lined the inside here to finish that off nicely as well. So that is that's a pretty cracker. So you'll need to cut 4 of these out for each cracker, and this is what creates the box inside. So you'll need 4 of those. You'll need 6 of these, which is the doors. You'll need to cut 2 of these, which are the stoppers for the doors. You'll need to cut 2 of those, I think. Let me just think. 2 of those. Yes, you'll need 2 of those for the foundation of the cracker. You might want to use that again if you're going to decorate the panels, but just for the construction of the cracker, we need 2 of those. And then you can see these little dies here. They would be used for putting a number for the Advent part of the box. You would use different dies then to decorate the panels of the cracker itself. And then you've got like little baubles. You've got this little banner here for a sentiment that's in the foil set. And then you're going to have like your long bauble, bell, holly. You could turn that into a poinsettia. So it's a really, really brilliant set. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to put a cracker together today. So I'm going to put this to one side out of the way, and I'm going to bring in all my bits and pieces. So when I said to you about that strip, you're going to need 4, which creates a box. They would overlap each other like this. Okay, so I'm going to bring in my glue press, and I'm going to place adhesive on the back there, and then this could be drying whilst we're doing the rest. So you're going to place these carefully, making sure that they all line up one by one there, and we want to just give that a burnish, a gentle persuasion to break those fibres of cards together before we actually do the sides. So I'm just going to place that to one side. Okay, now we have one already made up, so it will look like that when it's finished. Okay, so we'll put that to one side. Now the cracker die itself, you'll need 2 of these, and basically you're going to be doing just a few mountain and valley folds. So where you have this section here, it will be a valley fold, so it will fold in, and then you'll have a mountain fold, and you repeat the same on the other side. All the rest of the folds are mountain folds, okay? So they look like, when we say mountain, if it's a hill basically, so that is a mountain, and a valley is a V shape, so it goes inwards. Okay, so you'll hear us say mountain and valleys quite a lot. There are new crafters out there all the time, and we forget that they might not know the lingo. So it will be mountains and valleys. Now, as you can see, you have an aperture here within the cracker, and this is where your box will be glued into the inside of that aperture there, and then it will be glued back to back with this box here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to glue this cracker to this cracker, okay, using the glue tab. So again, using my glue press. If you're not familiar with the glue press, it's something that Tonic have just started to stock here in the UK, and well, to stock themselves, I should say, and it's fantastic. It just it makes your glue go 2-3 times as far, so you're not over gluing. And obviously you got little glue tabs and small areas. It's just perfect. So if you were somebody that used to put the glue on the hand and wasn't that keen, now you don't have to. You can get in there with the glue press, which is just brilliant. So these two now are adhered together as one. So we're going to put that to one side now, and we're going to create some doors. So I've gone ahead and made one door, so I will show you now what we're going to do. So let's bring these pieces in here. I've got another piece there somewhere. There we go. And we've got some foil for the foil fusion. There we are. I knew I had all my little bits cut somewhere, but best laid plans, you know, all my bits end up just disappearing, don't they? So this is a door that we have finished, and I will show you how we have made that. Okay, so this would be one side, and then you can see here we have the aperture, and that would click in to that side, and that would become your door. These are your little hinges that would glue each side of your aperture, and that would become your door then. Okay, so we're going to put that to one side. So we have the little stopper here, and it's just one piece of card with multiple score lines. You want to fold all those score lines into a mountain fold, so the score line would be upwards, and then we want to place adhesive on the shortest tab, and then we want to press that down until you know that that's stuck together, and just press that back a little bit just to square it off. Okay, and then we'll put that to one side. So let's have a look here. So I have a piece of the foil fusion stuck to a piece of cream card, and I'm going to burnish this with my precision tool. Okay, and if you don't have one of these precision tools, it's on offer at the moment until the weekend because Cam forgot to take it off, and it's fantastic. So get one whilst they're on offer, because this is an absolute lifesaver. I can't tell you how much I use this tool. You'll probably see it in every video. It's just brilliant. So we're going to burnish that down, and then we're going to lift the film away. So do this slowly, because if you've missed a bit, you can place it back down and go back over it. Okay, so I'm quite convinced that that has released. So we discard the the clear film, and then you want to place your foil fusion with the shiny side facing you, so you'd think it'd be the other way around, and it isn't. And I'm going to go over that with my finger now, and then carefully burnish that down. And you know when it's done because you will see the foil lift. Okay, so let's have a look there. And peel this back. Now you can go back in. If you miss a bit, you can get a fresh piece and go back in. That's absolutely fine. And then this piece here can be used as the negative on something else. Okay, so I'll put that to one side. So that's now foiled. So we want to cut this out. So we're going to get that door die. I'm going to place this over the top of that design. We're going to tape it down. Let's make sure we get a new piece of tape. Tape that down, and we're going to die cut that in the die cutter. So I am using my trusty tangerine today, which I wouldn't be without. It's the best machine that I have ever used, and I've used many, many, many of them. So here we are. There is your door. So you'll have a crease line in here, and you'll be able to see that across the back really. So I'm just going to tease that where the score line is, and I'm going to fold that back. Okay, so it's nice and creased ready. Now then, one of these doors has got to have this little clasp here. So let's say we want it to be this one. We're going to place adhesive on this here, just on that little square piece, and then we're going to place that through the hole and then hold it until you know that that has glued to each other. Now I said you're going to need to cut 2 of these squares. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to have one of these with the score line bent back, and you want to place this on the edge of that square, and with a pencil you want to mark where the edge of this card is, not including that score, not including that hinge there, the glue hinge. We want to bring that back and just mark the edge of this card, top and bottom. Okay, and then with your little guillotine or your paper trimmer, whichever you prefer, we want to place this in the guillotine up to that pencil mark and make sure we're all straight, and then cut it. You'll need the largest portion. You can do away with the smallest portion then. Put that to one side. So now this has adhered. We want to place glue on the back there. And we want to place that to the edge and then hold that down. Just like that. And then just wait for that to dry. Now this one, we'd like to back it so that it's nice and neat on the back side. You know I don't like to see any workings on anything. So we're going to place some adhesive across the back there. And this is all in the instructions if you'd rather have written instructions. And then we have one where we've cut the glue tab off. okay, and then we're going to line the back of that so that it's all a nice neat finish, so the back looks just as good as the front. Okay, and then once that's grabbed, you'll see then that these doors cling to one another like so, and you've got your glue tabs at the sides. Okay, so let's go to our box. So that's now adhered. So these glue tabs are going to wrap around the back of the box so that when you're looking through your cracker, you can't see the glue tabs at all. You're not going to see the glue tabs because they're going to be around the back of the box, and you won't see that when it's glued together. So just pinch that till you know it's got a hold. You can turn it on its side, and you can burnish the fold with your precision tool. I often call it a bone folder, but it is the precision glider. So we'll put some adhesive on the next one, and we just work our way around until we've created that cube box. And again, I'll go in and I'll burnish that little fold, and then we'll move on to the next one until we've gone all the way around. See what I mean about this glue press? It gets into the smallest of places, and yeah, it's really, really cool. I just like the fact that my glue is going to go a lot further as well, because none of us like having to buy the essentials, do we? We like the fun things. We don't like to buy the essentials. There we go. So press that down, and then once you've held it, you can then tip it and press with the precision folder glider. Right, so then press these back and you've got a nice then frame. So what we want to do is we want to glue 2 back to back. So add adhesive to one side, and I'm going to be quite generous with my glue here because I want a good adhesion. And you can place one down on the desk, place the other one on there, and then just a little bit of pressure, just hold them together. Okay, so we will hold them for a few seconds. There we go. And apologies for this video coming out late. We've been busy. And I have another video going out again today as well for the last launch of the week. And I can't believe it's come and gone so fast. A lot of preparation from the designers at HQ to testing, packaging, out to the girls, samples made, videos made, reels made, and here we are, almost at the end of the week. So, right, there we go. So we have the 2 boxes back to back. Now, there are dies in the set. Let's bring the set back in. Here, here, and here. You can line the inside of your box if you wish as well, okay? So Tonic have thought of everything, but today we're leaving it cream. I want that, the different colour there showing. So we're going to bring the cracker back into play, okay? You can, if you want to, glue these on when the cracker is flat if you prefer, but I like to do the box part next if I'm honest. So we're going to get the glue gun. I'm going to add the glue there to all of the tabs. All right, and then we're going to pop him over the top and then you're going to pinch it with your fingers and you're going to find the way. So you shouldn't be seeing any of the rim there. It should all be square on under the aperture. And what you would do is you'd just pinch it underneath with your fingers like so until you know that that has all gone tacky and the fibres have glued together. So just be a little bit patient with it. There we go. And this colour cardstock I've used is like a very deep burgundy. It's a 240 GSM. I tend to use a lot of 240 GSM. It's just perfect for die cutting and it's fantastic for constructional videos. So we would wrap that round there now onto the next one. But before I do, see how you have a glue, you have the two glued together there. I need to put my teeth back in. We don't want to see this when we look through the cracker. So this is where you'll need to cut another 2 of those squares. So what you would do is you would find the center point of that, make sure they're overhanging equally each side there, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue them just with a little bit of glue in the middle because they don't go all the way to the edge there. And remember, it's the top, so turn the cracker so in the upright position, and then more fingers now, and then find that center point there. So make sure it's overhanging equally on both sides, and then make sure that that is stuck down. You don't want to go too far over because then your cracker won't close, okay, and it won't fold on the score line. So just make sure you have an equal part each side there of that box, and then just hold it until you know it's stuck down there. It just makes it neat and tidy so that when you look through that cracker, you're not going to see that join there. We don't want to see the workings of anything if we can help it. Okay. It really is such an easy cracker to put together. It really is. So again, we want to put that down and make sure we've got an equal border both sides, and then press down. Okay. So you should have an equal part at the top and the bottom, and then an overhang equal each side. And then just press that down until you know we can move on to the next part. There we go. So we have this other half. So we're going to repeat the process again. We're going to add adhesive to all of those glue tabs like so, and then we're going to fold the cracker over until you see the aperture, and then press down like we did before. So we want to make sure we have a nice neat aperture there, and if you think, oh, that's just a little bit too far out, then just move it quickly before it grabs. There we go. Vicky's putting glue everywhere as normal. There we go. So just put your fingers in there underneath just to press, something to grab hold of. Gosh, the seagulls are having a heyday here this morning. There we go. And then we're going to glue this last glue tab here. So just tip that so that you can see. I hope you can see, guys. And then bring him in, and everything then should line up perfectly. Okay. And then press down to seal that shut. And then you have some little glue tabs here. So we want to add some adhesive there. And hold that. I love the cutout detail. I think it's so intricate. There we go. And then we'll do this next one. And then we'll go ahead and we'll put the doors on there. We'll pinch that together. I think it's going to be an awfully hot day in Cheshire, UK today. It's sunny and it's only 8 o'clock in the morning. So it's quite warm here already. So I normally film at night. I don't normally film in the morning, to be fair. But jobs need doing, so any excuse to craft, I say. What do you say? Any excuse. We can craft whenever we want. Right, so push that in and then hold that down. Okay, nearly done. Right, so that is the foundation of your cracker. Now you could go in there with another square and decorate so that it matches whatever you're doing, but that's as far as we're going to go for the decoration inside the end pieces. So now we need to put the doors on. Okay, so you have your hinge, and your hinge would glue this side of the aperture there. Okay, so if you're a bit iffy about it, click the two together, right? Bring your glue tabs down. Click the two together there, and then place your adhesive on one side. And then hover over that aperture, like that. Okay. And then find your equal border. So make sure you've got kind of the same cardstock going all the way around. And then press one side of your glue tab down until it's grabbed. Okay. And just hold that. It's just another way of doing it. So we'll let that grab until we move on. And then keep them hinged together. You have that other glue tab there, don't you? So add adhesive to the underside of that glue tab, like so. And bring them out and press that down. And that's a good way of getting an equal measurement each side of your door. So again, we'll just hold it until we know it's stuck down there, and then we'll do the opposite side and then we'll decorate this. There we go. I've got another one to share with you as well. So that should now be adhered. Don't open that until you know it's dried for a little bit. And then it's going to be a little bit more awkward because now you've got the bobble there to do the other side, but we will be fine. So again, we've got 2, hinge them together, bring those little hinges out, and I'm going to repeat the same process. I'm going to put adhesive on one side of the hinge, I'm going to place that over the top and then work out where I need to be. So that looks good to me. And then place that one down and hold it with my 2 fingers. And kind of hold it in your hand, because you can't really press down because obviously you've got the other door on the back there. So just keep that held until you know you can let go of that. And like we did before, we're going to put adhesive on the other hinge. Turn him around and then press down. There we go. And just hold that. There we go. And we'll leave those to dry a second and we'll add this next part. So I've gone ahead and I've done a decorative square there with the rose gold mirror card, and of course we have foiled with the same colour foil on a cream smooth cardstock. Again, it's 240, but it's whatever you have to hand. And I'm going to stick those down flat because I have already added dimension with the foam pad there with the layers. So let's stick that down there. So one there, and we'll put one on the other side. Okay, turn him over and do the same on this side. There we go. And down he goes. I just love these colours together. Just looks rich. And then I've gone ahead with the decorative bell. So you have this die here, and this gives you the backing plate for the bell, and then it gives you that detail there. So once they're glued together, you will get that look there. Okay, so I'm not going to put anything through this loop at the moment, but I'm going to place it here, but you could put a little bow there if you wanted to. So I've put a little bit of the foam pad on there, and I'm just going to place that bell in the middle there, make sure we're straight, and then press him down. I'm going to put the same on the other side. So put that down there, make sure they're all the right way around. And then I have a little sentiment that I've foiled. And I've got Merry Christmas, or it's Christmas I should say. And I think I'm going to stick that right on top of the bell in the centre there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to add a little bit of foam tape, and it will just be a slither because we are placing it on mirror card. Okay, so I don't need a piece that long. Alright, and then that is going to go, it's Christmas, have that one there. And I think we'll have that at an angle, like so, adding that dimension there. And then we're going to repeat the process for the opposite side. take the foam pad off that. There we go. And then put that on the opposite bell. Again, we're going to go at a squiffy angle there. Let's get rid of that. And then what we've done is we've cut the candy cane out 3 times in the cream, in the plain, and then we've gone with the rose gold with the detail, so it's more of a chipboard piece. And then these pieces here would slide through, okay, and that would lock the door in place. And then this one will slide through and also lock that door into place there, like so. I just think that's so beautiful. And then here we've had some little sprigs of holly or fern, which we're going to just slide in there. So I'm just going to add a little bit of adhesive just to the bottom of that there, just so it's got something to stick to. And I'm just going to slide that in there. And then I'm going to have another one I'm going to slide in there. So again, just a little bit of adhesive there. There we go. Let that grab a hold. And then repeat on the other side. So a little bit of glue there. Under he goes. And another little piece there. And he's going to go on top there. And I'm not having this as an advent one, you know, with a number on. Just a little gift cracker, this one is going to be. This could be a table setting cracker. So let me find some suitable ribbon. So I've got some cream ribbon here. There's always something that I forget, isn't there? So let's say we need 2 lengths. There we go. And we're going to wrap this underneath. So we want it where the doors are opening. And wrap that around. Not giving myself huge not giving myself enough tails on that one. Let's she says that's the only bit of cream we have left. Oh well, there we go. Best laid plans. I shall root some of that cream ribbon out forthwith. So if you can imagine a nice pretty bow. That's the last of that ribbon. I shall have to order some more. So I'll tell you what, we will just knot this one for now. We will knot it because we haven't got enough for a nice pretty bow. And then we can snip those ties like so. So at a little jaunty angle there. And that is your lovely Christmas table decoration cracker. And like I said, it doesn't have to be Christmas. It can be floral. It can be for any occasion. So you'll pull the stopper out here. We've just done a plain one. And then you open the doors. And this one's been lined inside with the matching paper. And then you close that. And then you put your little stopper through that. So I've gone ahead and I have done a Christmas papered one. Here we've used the numbers for the Advent. And again, you take the stopper out. And we've got a plain door in there. Now you could put a decoration in there if you wanted to as well. Okay. And there's the stopper through there. And we've got Ho Ho Ho, Santa's coming, which I thought was a fantastic little kids cracker, to be fair. So we've got that in that gorgeous colourway. Using some of the brand new papers that came out this week with Jolly Jingles, which is a fantastic paper collection. So all these crackers have been made with 240 GSM. And yeah, absolutely stunning set. I really, really love it. And as you can see, we open that up inside. You've got your cream middle there. You can line the inside if you want to. And then close him shut. And put the stopper in. There we go. And down he goes. Oop. Press that down. There we go. And it locks down in place, that one, because it goes round the curve. And yeah, so there are our crackers, guys. I'd just like to say thanks so much for joining me today. It's a pleasure to have your company as always. If you wish to purchase any of these products here that I've showed you this week or today, in the description in my video, that you will always find an affiliate link which takes you straight to Tonic Studios website, where you can purchase. Clicking my link means that I get a small commission from the sale. So it's a good way to support the design team that have brought some content for you. But there is no obligation. Obviously, you can just head straight over to Tonic Studios anyway. But I'd love it if you could give me a thumbs up. I'd love it if you'd come and say hello. Tell me where you're from. Tell me what kind of craft that you enjoy. And if you like the video or not. And I just want to say thanks so much for joining me. And until next time, happy crafting, guys. Bye now.